G'day folks, welcome to episode 12 of Beginner's Collection Essentials. The puzzle for this episode is the Dayan gem. Dayan? I don't know. Dayan? Who cares? It's the gem. Which gem, I hear you ask? That's right, it's the gem 3 that I've chosen. Now I could quite easily justify including any of the Dayan gems in this. I've just chosen the Dayan gem 3. I guess I've got a couple of reasons for doing it. What is this thing? Well, this was actually invented by a man called Scott Bedard in 2010. At the time he called it Concept 11. I've got not a clue why he called it Concept 11. I look at the number of faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many are there? 2 on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 of these hexagonal faces, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be 14. So I would have thought if anything it was Concept 14. I don't know why he called it Concept 11. Anyway, in 2011, and I'm sure that's a complete coincidence, Dayan started mass producing these things, and they called them the Dayan Gem 3. Now, probably because they'd already produced the 1 and the 2. So this got number 3. This could have been number 7 for all we know. But anyway, this thing is a truncated octahedron, and the interesting thing about it, it's one of 2 of the gems that is face turning and corner turning. And what I mean by that is we can turn these hexagonal faces like that. We can't turn this bit through here, which we can on some of the others. So no matter how much you do it, there's no turning through there. We can, however, turn these square faces. So it's an interesting little puzzle, and you can imagine what I mean by corner turning, this being a truncated octahedron. If you hold it like that, it's going to continue up to a corner there. So that's what I mean by that sort of thing. Now, in terms of comparing it with the other members of the Dayan Gem series, that's a coloured plastic version of the Dayan Gem 1. Now this thing turns on its edges. Being an edge turner, it jumbles. That's the 1. This is the 2. Looks nothing like the 1 or the 3. And this turns here on its face, and it also turns here on its edge. That thing there is an edge, and so that one jumbles as well. Here's the Dayan Gem 4. Now if you look at it, it's actually precisely the same structure as the 3. The 3 is the solved one, the 4 is the unsolved one. So you'd initially be forgiven for thinking they're the same thing. And so far, the 4 turns like that, but when you go to turn the square faces, they don't turn. What does happen is this middle inner layer does actually turn. So that's the 4. Then there was the 5, which was completely different again. And the 5 was kind of a strange one. And they offered 2 versions of it, which were, you initially were made to think that it was 2 completely different types of puzzles, but it was just actually the colour scheme, which was pretty stupid. That's the 5. And then this one is the 7. And the 7 subtly is different, because this one here, you'll see that firstly the hexagonal shape is not a regular hexagon. These sides here are longer than these sides here. That's the first thing on this one. It is a regular hexagon. And the other thing is, so we've got the face turner, but we've also got this square turner, so it's like the 3 in that regard, but because the faces are different, it does weird things. It in fact jumbles as well, whereas this one doesn't. You can see that I could have included any of these for the choice of the Dayan Gem. So why did I include the 3? I don't know, just had to choose one of them. And I thought, to be honest, this one looked to be a puzzle, because it didn't jumble, and I'm doing a Beginner's Collection Essentials series. I thought, we've already had some jumbling with the curvy copter, that's probably enough. And in terms of its ease of solving, it's probably one of the easier ones. So you can currently, at the moment, you can buy it in black plastic, which is what this one is. You can buy it in white plastic. You can actually still buy it in limited edition pink and yellow, would you believe? All for the same price. That price is $42. Now you might think $42, that's a bit steep. No, I don't think so for one of these things. I think this is actually a really interesting puzzle, and you may disagree, that's okay. But in any event, this one does not jumble. It does involve simple sequences to solve it, so when we're going about, the way I would solve it would be to reduce these edges here. When we're doing that, we can actually turn these corner faces to turn in corners that we want. So it's a nice, fairly straightforward thing to solve. So it's a good introduction to the Dayan Gem series, and that's one that I would recommend. If you don't like the 3 and you want to investigate some of the others, by all means do that. They are worth looking at as well. So there it is, Dayan Gem 3. Next episode, the second to last one, episode 13.